Her name is Sarah. This sister, this happened around the first week of September many years ago. This sheikh or speaker or imam or whatever you want to call him, he tells us her story. He says, I give a lot of lectures, and many people that attend my lectures, they send me emails. So he prints the emails and he receives the mail. So he says, I have a lot. But then I had to travel from Lebanon to London, UK. So I said, you know what? I will read my fan or my audience or my students' letters after I come back from UK. As I was putting the letters together, the whole document fell. It's a mess. He came, put one letter over the other letter. He says they were not in order anymore. So the one in the bottom now became on the top. He said, so as I was leaving, I was reading and it caught my attention. So I went back to my seat. He has to go, but he said, I want to see what's this letter. Read one line, two lines. Oh, this is interesting. What is the letter? Ready? This letter says, my name is Sarah. My name is Sarah. She comes from an Arab descent family, Lebanese family, and she emigrated between New Zealand and Australia when she was 10 years old. She says, I lost all the connection with my family, all the connection with my Arab language of the Quran. I lost all of that. She says, I never went back home since I left when I was 10 years old. She says, even my grandparents have also died, so I even lost more family connection. What makes my story even harder is that my parents were very harsh, and my parents are divorced. Then she says, my mother got married to someone else, and my father got married to someone else. She says, I became very independent and became very westernized. So I took the culture, whether it was good or bad, I took it all. I'm very independent. She says, I lived alone like any other woman you can think of living in the West. But she took it to the next level. She says, now I have been living with my boyfriend for some years. She says, I love him so much, we have a strong relationship. She said, I have very high tuition for school. The university, very expensive. So she said, I work in a bar, alcohol bar. Then she says, there's no sin in Islam except that I do it. No sin in Islam except that I do it. She said, in addition to that, I am a very beautiful woman. Very beautiful. I won the competition of the most beautiful girl in the county. There was a competition, she participated, and she won first place. She said in the letter, 2 months from now, I will run to compete for Miss New Zealand. Then she says, and represent the whole country. Then she says, as a result of how good looking I am, some magazines started to contact me, haram magazines, to be on the poster. May Allah protect us and forgive us. And she went and she became on the cover. She said, I'm reading to you this letter as much as I can, literally, as much as I can. She said, until I visited my family, one of the families in Australia. I haven't seen my parents for 5 years. And in seeing a family from, some Muslim in them was very refreshing, many years. She said, I was watching TV and they turned on a channel where your lecture was playing. And your lecture was about what? Was about chastity, haya, or modesty, if you wish to say. Then she said, when I was listening to the lecture, I felt naked. When I was listening to the lecture, I felt I'm disrespecting myself. Then she said, I realized I have no connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She realized, I felt Allah, He made me come to this house to watch this lecture. Allahu Akbar. She said, so I listened and I listened and I was watching the program and now I'm paying attention. Then I saw at the bottom the website, www. And then she said, I went to this website and that's how I sent you that email. And then she said, I have only one question for you. just one question. With everything that I did in my life, would Allah ever accept my tawbah? That the whole iman for this question. With everything that I did, would Allah ever accept my tawbah? Now the doctor, the brother, he needs to travel to the UK. He said, I'm not traveling. I'm replying back. He starts replying. He says, of course Allah can forgive you. Of course. Allah will forgive whatever you have done. You drank alcohol, you committed zina, you did this, you did that, you did this, you did that, whatever you do, as long as you come back to Allah correctly, you feel bad, you stop, you make up for it, and if you took something from someone, you return it, Allah will accept it, no doubt, inshallah. Then he sent her, because that was a little bit back in the day, some cassette, you know, old stuff cassette, right? It was not like YouTube, no YouTube back then. It was cassette about tawbah, about things like that. 3 days later, she replies back to the email. She says in the email, I have quit working at the bar. Allahu Akbar. 3 days. She quit the bar. She says, I don't want to do anything haram anymore. Allahu Akbar. Afterwards, the doctor and his wife were very happy with that. And then they said what? They received another email. She said, Sarah, Alhamdulillah, there's another major sin, kabira, I used to do and now I quit. What is it? I used to drink alcohol. I quit now. Allahu Akbar. 2 days later, and wallahi, I'm not exaggerating. When I say 2 days, 3 days, literally, 2 days, 3 days. 2 days later, she said, I heard your lecture about repentance. What you're hearing today is similar. And she said, now I feel like going back to Allah. I want to go back to Allah and make tawbah and repent. She said, but I have one problem. My boyfriend. I love him so much. I don't see myself without him. Brothers and sisters, wallahi, I'm not exaggerating. 2 days later, she emailed the Sheikh or the speaker, I left my boyfriend. Allahu Akbar. May Allah make our hearts love the things that Allah loves. Say Ameen. Afterwards, at this point, the speaker, the one who gave the lecture, and his wife, they wanted to reach out and now speak over the phone. The speaker and his wife, for stronger communication to help even more. So during the call, this sister can no longer speak Arabic. Very weak. Khalas, the language is gone. How old are you, Sarah? 22 years old. 22 years old. So they're very impressed. 2 days later, she asked, can you please send me a recording of Surah Al-Fatiha? She says, I don't know any Muslims except you online. That's it. Can you send me a recording of Al-Fatiha? So what did the speaker do? He said, I sent her the whole Quran, like a cassette, the whole Quran. Different Sheikh Saud al-Shurayn, like Sheikh Sudais, Mushari al-Affasi, along these lines. 2 days later, she says, I want to learn how to pray. Can you please send me something like how to say Allahu Akbar, what to say, and so on? And he sent that. Afterwards, they explained the salah. She started to pray. Brothers and sisters, look what she says. Ready? She said, I started praying, this is my happiest day of my life. Allahu Akbar. Wallahi, it is true. The happiest day in your life is the day you go back to Allah. Remember that. You will never feel happiness as much as when you go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She says, I found what I was looking for, which is what? Happiness. It was not in her beauty, not in her boyfriend, not at the job, not at the university. It was with the forehead on the floor to Allah. Allahu Akbar. That was her happiness. And I'm going to go back to the story, but let me share with you one more thing. I used to have a Muslim brother on campus at college. Every time I see him, we're going to the salah. I say, brother, ta'al, come study with us, come pray with us. Very nice. He says, one day, inshallah. Every time I see him, I remind him nicely. Wallahi, Allah is my witness. One day, I was walking to the musalla and I saw him leaving. I was shocked. He was leaving the masjid. I said, Khair, Bismillah. He's like, I prayed. I'm like, Allahu Akbar. You know what he told me? He says, Majeed, I want you to tell the whole world my story. His story is very short. He said, he's, mashallah, very muscular, very handsome, and very rich, and very educated. Everything you want in dunya, he has. You tell me he has it. He says, Majid, I tried with the money, even the haram, and wallahi, I never had happiness. I had all the women I wanted, wallahi, I never had happiness. I had the drinking and the alcohol and the drugs, and I never found happiness. Majid, you give lectures, tell the whole world that wallahi, the happiest moment in my life is the salah I just prayed. Allahu Akbar. It was a salah, and I want to do the amana and tell you, and going to Kenya to tell you. Allahu Akbar. Back to this sister. So this sister, she says, I want, you know what, to learn more and more and more. And look what he says. He says that she told him, I memorized Surah Al-Naba. عَمَّ يَتَسَاءَلُونَ عَنِ النَّبَأِ الْعَظِيمِ. She said, Alhamdulillah, I memorized it. Allahu Akbar. Then after 2 days, wallahi, I'm telling you, 2 days, 3 days, I'm actually having a word for word. Sheikh, you see my notes, huh? Word for word. I'm trying to do the letter exactly. She says, 2 days later, I memorized Surah Ar-Rahman. Allahu Akbar. Ar-Rahman allama al-Quran. Look what she says. I now want to learn Surah Yusuf. Shuf. The speaker says, and I say as well, I have never seen someone moving towards Allah this fast in my life. But it's possible. After being so far away, do you agree with me? Someone who was saying, you know, bar and nightclub and boyfriend and alcohol, to someone who's reading the Quran and so on, look what she says. Now I'm going to go to a level that maybe most of us are not there yet. She passed us. She says, I now start praying Qiyamul Layl. Ya akhi, wallah, it's difficult to continue. She says, now I start praying Qiyamul Layl. She says, I cannot wait until the night come so I can read with Surah Ar-Rahman. Allahu Akbar. May Allah grant guidance to our brothers and sisters. May Rabbil Alameen. How did you memorize the Quran? Listening. It's possible. It's not a miracle. Yes or no? It's not impossible. Sorry. Sheikh, today, what happened today? Today. I never met him till today. A brother, where is he from? Masara, right? Messiah. You know what I'm talking about, correct? He comes, accepts Islam. 14 months. In 14 months, he memorized the whole Quran. Today, Sheikh, yes or no, he read for us. Does not understand the language. He came. How old was he? He's a teenager. Right? 13 years old. See, if you try, we say if you walk to Allah, Allah will not walk to you. If you walk to Allah, Allah will run to you. Allah, you just take a step. All what I'm telling you and telling myself, just take a step. That's it. Open the door and Bismillah, Allah will put barakah. But you have to take what? The step. May Allah allow you and I to take the step. So this sister, what she says, she now sends an email. She says, I want to now wear the hijab. Here, the speaker and his wife got into a conflict. The speaker, the brother says, I don't think she should wear it yet. Let her wait a little bit, maybe to understand more about the deen. It's almost been 2 weeks only. The wife says, no, if she wants to wear it, let her wear it. So they're back and forth. She sends an email, I wore the hijab. You guys keep discussing it. Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah. May Allah protect us. Brothers and sisters, subhanallah. The one who won the beauty contest in the county in New Zealand is now one who's wearing the Islamic code of clothing. Allahu Akbar. Don't ever give up on people, inshallah. You never know who changes, yes? Allahu Akbar. Wallahi, it is shocking from many people who have been practicing so long. When I said Qiyamul Layl, many of you were like, wow, right? Like, subhanallah. It shook us. May Allah bless her wherever she is right now. Afterwards, brothers and sisters, he said, she no longer communicates with me and my wife. For an entire week, no communication. So now we're about 3 weeks since the first week of September, right? After that week, she calls. She said, I'm so sorry, I've been away. I got so sick the past week. And she wants to tell them something. She said, I had plastic surgery in my breast for the competition before she made the tawbah. So this surgery, the plastic surgery went wrong, the silicone and whatever. So she got so sick and she went to the hospital. So when she went to the doctor told her, you have cancer. She has what? She has cancer. May Allah cure the ones who are sick amongst us today and those who are watching bi'idhnillah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the doctor says, listen, young girl, Sarah, you might live for only a few more days if you don't do the surgery. So if you wish to reject the surgery, I predict you will live for a few more days because you're a very high stage level of your cancer and so on. You might also, if you live, you might be paralyzed if you live a bit longer. So it has a side effect to it. Or at minimum, severely ill. So the doctor says, my opinion, do the surgery. Do the surgery. And there's a slim chance it may work. So the surgery will go wrong, she might die in it. So it's very risky. So the sister, Sarah, she tells the speaker, I want to go back to my family, see them. I cut my family in a long time. May Allah make you connect with your family. Say Ameen. Wallahi, if you travel to Kenya and you left your mom and dad somewhere, or your auntie and khal and khala, your ammah and ammak, whatever it is, say salam to them. Just call them. Say Eid Mubarak, kul am wa antum bi khair. Say assalamu alaikum. Just show Allah you're trying, because that's very important. So she says, I want to go back to my family in Lebanon, say salam and so on. And she says, I want to do something for Islam. Allahu Akbar. Do you want to do something for Islam? You want to do something for Islam? May Allah make you a means of guidance to the whole ummah. Every one of us. So she says, I want to do something for Islam. But then she says, but I have to do the surgery. So she's, and should I go surgery? Should I not? Back and forth, back and forth. But she said, my ultimate question is this. Ready? My ultimate question is this. Would Allah forgive my past 20 years because of 3 weeks? You see the question? 20 years of away from Allah. Would He forgive all of that for 3 weeks? Then the speaker, he went on his social media. He says, brothers and sisters, please make dua for Sarah. She is doing the surgery. Let's all, as an ummah, collectively make dua for her. On her way to the procedure, so she's going to do the surgery. On her way to the procedure, she said, I wasn't able to do something for Islam. She's so sad. I didn't give back to the ummah. May Allah make you and I give back to the ummah. We do not want to be people that depend on others. We want people to be people that we serve, not only be served. Once again, don't only be someone who is served. Be the one who serves. Don't be the one who only takes. Be the one who also gives. May Allah make us givers. Ameen Rabbil Alameen. Then she says, I don't know if I will live long enough. She says, the only good I have are the cassettes. She tells her friend was with her in the hospital, listen, this is the bag. In it are the cassettes. The repentance lecture, the gratitude lecture, modesty lecture, all these lectures. If I die, this is the only thing I have to do for my deen. Give it to people who can benefit. Allahu Akbar. She's thinking on her way to surgery. Brothers and sisters, Sarah, the utmost beauty, went to the hospital and did the surgery on September 26th on a Friday. Sarah did not live after that surgery. As I'm speaking today, Sarah passed away. May Allah forgive her and may Allah grant her Jannah. Brothers and sisters, 21 years old or 22 years old, may Allah have mercy on her. Can I share with you, would you mind if I share with you some of the texts that she sent? Ready? One text. May Allah forgive us. Wallahi, this stuff, wallahi, is very difficult. In one text she says, I am so scared. The other text says, along the lines of, I wish I did something for Islam. After that, a text came from her friend, I'm sorry, Sarah died. May Allah forgive us and protect us. It happened on that day, that speaker and about 5 other members, they went to do Umrah on behalf of Sarah. Allahu Akbar. And I prayed to Allah to grant Sarah Jannah, because I don't know about you, but she gave me hope. Yes? Someone who was all the way here changed within about 3 weeks all the way there. May Allah protect us and honor us. You know, brothers and sisters, what's amazing is not Sarah's story. What? What's amazing is not really Sarah's story. What's really amazing is Allah's rahmah. Yes or no? Is how Allah still gave her a chance after the zina and the alcohol and the lack of salah and the all this and that, and he still gave her the chance. May Allah forgive us and protect us in Ya Rabbil Alameen.